Good morning, SDA families. Today is Tuesday, October 13th. I hope you had a blessed Thanksgiving. Even though it was likely different than previous years, it's my prayer that you were still able to spend time with those you love and celebrate the blessings that God has given you. It was amazing last week to see all the donations to the food bank come into the school. We're still figuring out the total amount that came in, but many boxes were filled and many people were blessed. Great job, SEA family. That was fantastic. How quickly you brought in food on such short notice. Last week, we also had parent-teacher interviews on Thursday night. I heard from many parents how much you appreciated being able to connect with the teacher. And in this time of disconnectedness, we need to remember to stay connected, to reach out, make an effort, and stay in touch. If you are unable to book an interview time, please contact your child's teacher and they would be happy to connect with you this week. We have had a few phone calls from the community about parents dropping students off in the Sobeys parking lot across the road. I understand you're wanting to drop your child off there to avoid our parking lot and be on your way faster. However, if you absolutely must drop your children off across the road, I'm going to ask you to do so safely. Make sure you park in a stall. Stop your vehicle before your children get out. Do not stop in the middle of a laneway. Our parking lot is safer as students won't have to cross Clover Bar Road, but if you must, make sure you do so safely, and thanks for making sure that our entire school community remains safe. Finally, today, I want to remind you of two important dates coming in the following next week. Both will be done virtually, and log information will be coming in the next few days. But for now, just mark your calendars. Monday, October 19, our awards night, celebrating awards from last school year. And Wednesday, October 21 is our school council meeting. Once again, this is open to all parents. Monday, October 19 and Monday, October 21. Mark your calendars. We look forward to seeing you there. That's it from me this week. Over to you, Mr. Maxwell.
Thanks, Mr. Elzinga. Morning, SCA. Hey, I was hanging out with a few of you this week. We were talking about life and school, and of course, COVID comes up, and pretty quickly it was brought up how not being able to meet in kind of large groups sucks some of the life out of school and friendships and kind of living around here. And I also thought maybe it might suck some of the life out of you personally. I know it has for me a little bit. So I thought of a short story that I'd like to share. It's called The Smallest Piece. Here goes. A 14th century Italian stained glass artist was summoned to design and create a huge portrait for the window of a cathedral in France, a place well known for its stained glass work. They were beautiful. Most of them were large and colorful. Some of the colors from that time cannot even be reproduced today. Among these awesome pieces of glass was a small, clear piece about as big as your fingernail. As the stained glass portrait was assembled, that little piece remained on the floor. Only the big, colorful pieces of glass were used. On the day of the window's completion, the tiny piece of clear glass was still lying on the ground. The entire city gathered to witness the unveiling of the brilliant and beautiful stained glass portrait. The artist stood in front of the crowd, made his speech, and dramatically pulled down the cloth cover. The crowd gasped at the beauty of the colorful window in the sunlight. After a few seconds, however, the crowd grew silent. They sensed that something was missing, that the portrait was unfinished. The great artist then walked over to where the little clear piece of glass lay, picked it up, and placed it in the portrait right in the center of Jesus' eye. As the sun hit that little piece, it gave off an amazing sparkle. People were amazed. The magnificent stained glass window still draws visitors today. The first thing they see is that sparkle in Jesus' eye. I don't know. Do you ever feel like that little piece of clear glass left out, maybe untalented or even a disappointment? I have, for sure. You doubt you can ever do anything for God. Well, I hope that you can let that story of that little last piece remind you that God thinks of you as the apple of his eye. It actually says that in Psalm chapter 17. Let me read it for you. Verse 8, guard me as the apple of your eye. Hide me in the shadow of your wings. Protect me. It's pretty cool. No matter that in your eyes you don't measure up to others, you do measure up. You are important to God, no matter what. That's 1 Corinthians 12 talks about that. So just as we protect the pupils and apples of our eyes, the apples of our eyes, so God will protect us. We cannot conclude, however, that we have somehow missed God's protection if we experience troubles. It's not true. God's protection has far greater purposes than helping us avoid pain. God's protection enables us to better care for others. So I encourage you to consider God's protection on your life. I know when I do, I get really thankful for lots of things. And that's really good timing because it was just Thanksgiving. So I hope you have a great week. God bless you.